Hello everyone, my name is SwingPoynt and welcome to Resident Evil Resistance. This is the multiplayer game bundled with Resident Evil 3. And I'm up here, I'm the current one right now, and underneath me is past SwingPoynt. This is a match from twitch.tv/SwingPoynt, and I was gonna upload this on its own. Except, I felt like when I was watching it, there was an opportunity there for me to go ahead and provide you with a lot more information. Because when I'm live streaming, I'm talking to chat, I'm not necessarily communicating every little thing that goes through my brain. And when I went and rewatched it, I saw a bunch of opportunities to teach you guys things about not only what I was doing, but what my teammates were doing and what they were doing really, really well. So I'm going to be playing the perspective of Jan here. This is a solo queue match. I don't know these people. And we're going up against a rank 40 Spencer. The Spencer is running, from what I can tell, triple mod, super core, and lots of IVs and invulnerability anchor. We went ahead and reverse engineered this on stream. And if you guys want to see what this build is, I can make a video about it. I don't think it's going to match exactly what he's got, because again, I just kind of made it up on my own based off of what I had seen here. And usually it stomps everyone, but this team in particular did a really good job against it. So I want you to see what it takes to counter this. Like we did really well. And I'm going to tell you the little things that were happening in the background that add up over time that helped make it so that we were successful against what is a really strong build. So the format of the video is I'm gonna play this here and I'm gonna be talking and providing commentary when I feel like it's appropriate. And again, this is a stream match, so twitch.tv/SwingPoynt, links in the description. We stream just about every single night. If you want to be a part of those streams, there's your opportunity. But let's go ahead and press play here and get on with the video.
Why do you choose to fight against everything? Accept authority, and your life will be easier.
I'm playing Jan. Love tea. Chat, you got any tea? Any of y'all tea drinkers?
But I'm not afraid of you.
To give you perspective, I'm playing Jan, Crawler Jan, as I made the video for. I swapped out the limb equipment because after doing a lot of testing, I feel like the limb equipment doesn't do anything. Let me set something straight. I feel like the limb equipment doesn't do anything. Also, if a creature has regen on it, it cannot have its limbs broken. And a creature does not have its limbs repaired by regen like I once thought. So setting the record straight there. Regen behaves much differently than I thought it did. So I think I replaced this with either first aid spray or I put an energy drink instead of the limb equipment. But yeah, I'm playing pretty much economy Jan. Okay?
Fuckhead.
Fuck! Another thing I forgot to include in the video was go the other way. I remembered thinking about it, but I didn't make a video for it. You hear a bunch of creatures on one side, go the other way. Especially in Area 1. Let me explain why that matters. So you go the other way, right? The reason why that matters and why that I feel is a really good bit of advice. On a lot of these maps, you have an option to go this way or that way. And the reason why going the other way is so important is because the amount of creatures you can have in each area changes. In Area 1, you can have 8 creatures. In Area 2, you can have 10. And in Area 3, you can have 12. So if the Mastermind starts loading up one side and you just go the other way, there's a good chance you're going to be able to go through one side and have very little resistance. And if they decide to try to resist you on the other side, there's a good chance they're going to despawn their creatures that they had on the other side, which could be their lickers or some other powerful thing that they have going on. It's a really good way to kind of hurt their economy or just get away with getting all your objectives on one side for free. So let's continue here. Drink tea 2 times a day? Really? What kind of tea do you drink? What kind of tea do you drink, chat? Knock him down, roll him. But you can see that we got like no resistance right now because he's loaded up on the other side. I'm not sure he's even gonna resist us at all because of what was going on. So I see sprays. Not a real one here, huh? Okay. I'm gonna pick this up for Sam in case he wants it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Pick up stuff for your other people, especially if you have space for it. But I guess I don't. 80% black tea. Okay. I'm not real consistent on my tea drinking. I'd like to be, but I'm not. Something that Sam did there was he held the door open. That was really smart. Okay, chat, I released a survivor tips video. Let's see if solo queue becomes a more pleasurable experience. Uh-oh, dual shock battery low. Not good. I think it might be really low.
Here, I'll find it.
So you saw I shot out the camera even though there wasn't really any threat in the room. Part of the reason why I do that is because what some masterminds will do is you see how he has threats on this side of the door? We can see them now, those zombies in the front. What a good mastermind's going to do is they're going to spawn creatures behind you when you're all focused at the door, and then he can push forward by controlling the creature, and then also have those things coming up behind you for easy backbites. So by taking out that camera early, we don't have to worry about that threat coming up behind us. Even though there wasn't anything in the room, we can just prevent a problem from happening. And since it's an Area 1 camera, it doesn't cost a lot of ammo to take it out.
But that really wasn't very nice.
Taking out legs right away. Make him not a threat. Make it easy for Sam to deal with.
The child would have found that.
Do your thing, Sammy! One thing that this team's really good at is protecting each other. Now, I keep going after legs. But this team was sensational at going ahead and protecting bites from happening. You can hear a bite happen. They usually go, "Rawr!" You can hear them lunge, and if you hear that, look to see if anybody's getting bit. This team was great at it. One thing I thought about including, but I passed on it, was being able to hear when creatures grab. Yep. Because I feel like you just kind of got to get used to that one. Not necessarily something that I can put in a video and be like, here you go.
It took you so long to find it? I shall lower my expectations.
See something.
So he didn't resist us a whole bunch here, and I'm thinking that he might be running a viral mod. Probably. I haven't played on PC, so yeah, probably. Oh, he had this loaded up. So I'm not sure if you saw what I just did there. If you go ahead and rewind it back, it's up to you. The Ivy was in front of us, right? And he could tank a lot of the bullets, but I wasn't shooting at him. I was shooting low because I saw a bunch of creatures behind him, and I haven't been seeing a region from this guy. So I tried to take out all the legs from behind them so we wouldn't have this big overwhelming horde in front of us with the Ivy tanking everything, because we didn't have any fire to take out the Ivy. You need fire to take out Ivies. So I was trying to peel behind them with that MQ and take out a bunch of their legs so we could walk in there after the Ivy was incapacitated. Oh, come on, I tried shooting that off. You see how nothing's crawling around on us right now? Or there's like 1 or 2 creatures that were still standing?
I savor the taste of stolen home.
People have done that several times.
So many walk into the
DC fan.
next
Oh, wasn't there a bunch of Batman stuff released today?
Good. I shall learn more from a monk.
Biscuits and tea? What are biscuits in Europe?
Good, good.
Are they like cookies?
Results are
I think
fascinating.
they're cookies.
Continue.
So, I'm going to talk about it now. This Becca makes a really good decision. Right now, currently, as of August 28th, the meta in this game for survivors is typically run a shotgun. My opinion is you don't got to do that with Becca. Becca performs better when she's running an LE5 or some sort of weapon where each bullet is going to do a ton of damage, especially since she can run really high critical hit chance and or damage. Each bullet matters a lot out of Becca. Shotguns, you're still going to run into that problem where some of them aren't going to do any damage at all. There is a little bit of inconsistency in the shotguns. There's like no inconsistency when you're using your rifle. That was a great choice that Becca made, and I would encourage you to do the same, even with the shotgun meta. If you're playing Becca, you don't need to take a shotgun. I wouldn't I drop stuff in front of everyone so they could pick stuff up. Back and forth on tea and coffee, love them both. Shout out to you. Modify space. Rats and roll. Good, Torn. Trying to catch up with chat here. Starbucks person.
EMP ready.
Yeah, I'll catch up on chat in a little bit. I'll scroll up after the match is done. I'm running EIS on my fever skill, by the way. It's a rank 40 Spencer. So expect some shenanigans. Okay, there we go.
You're gonna love this.
So I'm just taking out legs. This team was really aware of when the invulnerability anchors were down and they could start pouncing. You could see how they backed up a little bit and didn't try to fight. And that definitely did us a lot of favors. We definitely have an economy Val going here. And I am living for it! I did that because Val typically runs yellow boost, right? Or or at least she can over anybody else.
Night.
He is. He is for sure running Ivy mod. Look at this. So I gotta start buying Ivies. Or not Ivies, Molotovs. Or Sam's gotta get a torch. These could really screw us over in a short while here. Something I want to talk about, because everybody really just wants to hate on malware all the time, is malware isn't going to prevent. Malware's not going to stop a problem. Malware's going to prevent something from happening. Malware's like laying a trap on the ground. You can't malware an invulnerability anchor away. You can't malware a automatic turret away. You can instant it away though. So you kind of got to pick your poison, and malware is going to be better in some scenarios. Malware, in my opinion, does best against builds that capitalize on EIS, and also it does best if you have a team that can support you, because you're not going to have time to malware things if the other 3 people on your team aren't doing their job. So if you're going to be running solo queue, instant is more often going to do you favors than malware will. Also, the mastermind can deal with malware whenever they feel like it a lot of the time, because malware tends to hit you when you're backtracking or when the survivors are backtracking. So if they're pushing forward, malware's not going to do anything anyway.
Coming to get you.
Took out Yorick's legs. Yeah, there's so many of them.
Time is passing. Take the key card. Do not disappoint me.
Watching us. I might be able
We gotta be really careful with all these Ivies. I don't know how I didn't get hit there. I hit that thing so many times. This team was really good at shooting cameras. Not just I'm leaving the team here, so I can go ahead and try to get some Molotovs. We gotta go ahead and get some mollies. See if I have any in here.
Pulse is charged.
Might even be worthwhile buying a torch. Now you're gonna hear me talk a few times in this stream where I was like, Sam should buy a torch. I went and I thought about that, immediately after this match, but especially when I was rewatching this. And I'm really glad Sam didn't buy a torch, because even though Sam can do a lot of melee damage, he kind of sucks with a torch because his durability is so bad when he's using blunt force. And on top of that, he doesn't have crazy economy the same way that Jan can. So I think it makes more sense for Jan to buy the torch because she can afford all these other things. And Sam is still able to buy a sledgehammer then and focus on doing cores. Because the thing with Ivies is they don't have an astronomical amount of health. They're chunky, but the big thing is that you just need some sort of fire on them to kill him. So if Sam does it, I mean, he'll do more damage, but he's also just going to burn through way more economy than Jan would because things are going to be more expensive for him, and his blunt force is going to amplify that problem. Save Sam for the cores. Also, he went ahead and bought a shotgun, which was smart, so he could help deal with invulnerability anchors. I'm really glad Sam did what he did in this match, even though in the moment, I wanted him to have a torch. I think he made the right decision, and I'm glad I went ahead and bought a torch later. See, he has a shotgun. Look at that. Good Sam.
You saved me. I owe you my life.
No objectives around in here, huh? Okay. Can she end with her knife?
Doing it.
What do yellow herbs enhancing sprays do? They increase your damage that you do and it decrease the damage you take.
Always in the way.
I'm basically trying to prep the area over here. Because they're handling it over there. Going for legs.
Mindless existence elevated to purpose by my...
Something you might see that just happened right there. Part of the reason why I go for legs so much is because if they start controlling a zombie after you shoot its legs out, they're just going to control a crawler. Who cares? And if you don't shoot the legs out beforehand, well, then you're not going to be able to shoot the legs out while the creature's controlled. You can't shoot out a controlled creature's legs. You can't shoot out an imposter zombie's legs. And you can't shoot out the legs of a zombie that has a regen on it. But if you shoot it out beforehand, it basically becomes a useless crawler for them.
I touch.
Get your eyes off me.
See how I timed out that camera? Because I knew he was going to go back to it after he got kicked out of his creature. Got 10 seconds out of that. That's another one. A lot of Ivies in Area 3. Yeah, it might be worth me buying a torch. I need to get a little bit of ammo. And then also maybe get a torch.
You are not sufficiently afraid
Because
yet.
Sam can do damage to cores.
Very well.
So
Proceed
can
to
Becca.
the next area, and I shall see what I can do about that.
You just play on the basics a bit. Basic is that it's a 4v1 game. Survivors are trying to escape. And I have way too many herbs. Survivors are trying to escape, and the Mastermind is trying to keep them from escaping. This Becca was really good. She's done a lot of good things. One was a really smart choice with the LE5, but I'm not sure if you noticed she went ahead, ran out, and then lured the lickers back, which I'm not sure if she was doing that because she knew Invulnerability Anchor was coming, but it's always a smart idea where if you know that they've been running lickers in their presets, run out, pull them back, and then you get easy killings in the spawn. Actions that are good for survivors make time go up. Actions that are bad for survivors make time go down.
I will tear out your insides myself.
Disabling the camera.
Let's say he doesn't have anything that I can bust through here. We gotta go to the left. Let's go to the left, to the left.
Don't fuck with me.
I use EIS, so we wouldn't have to deal with a controlled zombie. That's my fever skill. I don't have a lot of ammo. I'll be able to get more ammo, but I don't have a lot of ammo.
I am coming to get you.
I don't like being watched. I'll be just fine for the time being.
You stand on the knife edge of mortality.
Healing over here.
Where's Sam? Main reason I keep shooting out the camera, even though there's not an invulnerability anchor on it, is one, it keeps him from spawning stuff. That's the obvious one. But it also keeps him from controlling zombies. And controlled zombies are the biggest nightmare in the world when you're trying to maintain dominance on a core. They can really just mess with you. So by making the camera not there, it makes his job way harder as a mastermind. And these are super cores. Hence why they're taking so long to take down between the two damage dealers.
You have far to go yet.
Shoot Ivy's head. That's not going to do a whole lot for you. Just got to burn him. You see how they backed up? So smart.
This is right. All lesser creatures can
Again, great survivor team.
Okay, charged up.
Get off me! He hasn't used traps all game. This is a telly trap. It's gotta be. Yep. Tried to shoot it out, didn't work. Something that Becca's doing right there, and this Mastermind's trying to deal with her. Mastermind can not see her right there, or can like see her foot maybe. That area right there on area 3, I think I put this in the Survivor Tips video, is a really good blind spot when you are playing as Becca, or really anybody who has a firearm. You can hit this core right here, and the Mastermind can hardly see you from any of these cameras, so it's a really good place to deal damage at a low threat. What this Mastermind was doing, though, was trying to spawn things behind her because he knew that was going on.
You are so fun.
Something you might have noticed there. You see all that damage I did to that zombie? Well, was it an imposter zombie? Was it a real one? You can tell if you play this enough based off of the damage numbers you do. You're not going to hit a 960 against a controlled zombie. Controlled zombies, from what I've been told, take 50% less health, or take 50% less damage to their health when you fire upon them. So you can get a good idea of what you're shooting at just based off of the damage number that you do to them, which can be helpful when you're kind of strategizing on who you want to take out. Ooh. Do that grenade so I could clear out some room for the torch here. Do the core, man. You're Sam. Just do it. The reason why I think he wasn't doing the core is I'm pretty sure he ran out of stuff. I think he was out of economy.
I don't like being watched.
Yeah. He had to have been. Like, what is he doing? Something that was really smart that Sam did there, like really smart, is that both of us knew we had to back up because he was invulnerable, right? And we both knew that eventually the Ivy's connection to the invulnerability anchor was going to break. But what Sam did to force the issue, I'm assuming because he knew I had a torch, was he pulled himself into that corner. Now you might be thinking, why did Sam run into the Ivy? By pulling into the corner that way, it gets the threat off of me, the person with the torch, and it forces the Ivy in a place where the anchor's definitely going to break. So it was just an easy target to clear then. That was a smart move by Sam. It didn't look like one because it looks like he just went and got himself bit, but that was a really good play. He was trying to pull the Ivy. Oh my lord. Good thing I bought that torch, chat. Jesus Christ. We'd have been screwed without it. There's a supply zombie back there. I missed him. What am I drinking tonight? I got tequila right now. Maybe it's because of the alcohol.
All right, let's see here.
I was drinking. Sassy Saturday, man. We do that every Saturday. Come on by.
I savor the taste of stolen hope.
Gusso, thanks for converting your sub over to a tier 1 sub. It's very kind of you. This is how you counter frickin' chunky ass Spencer here, man.
Don't fuck with me.
We've been doing a great job. I gotta get an angle on this camera. Now take a look here. I don't talk about this when this happens, but you see how Becca's grabbed in the doorway? But you also see all these red names. That means there's a bunch of controlled zombies. Well, you know what a controlled zombie's gonna do? Controlled or imposter, whatever, they're gonna try to charge you. They're very aggressive. But I needed to get in there at an angle to go ahead and take out that camera with my instant skill. What Becca did by getting herself in the doorway, whether she meant to or not, by getting grabbed, she created a block for zombies to not be able to get around her. So instead of saving the bite from happening, I figured the 15 seconds is worth it if it's going to go ahead and buy me time to take out that invulnerability anchor, which is why we didn't bother trying to help Becca. I don't know if that's what Sam was doing, but that's what I was thinking when I wanted to go ahead and take out the anchor. Anchor took priority over saving Becca, and Becca was blocking the other zombies for me.
Taking out the camera.
Because you see how they all funnel out like that? This is a great match for the old YouTube. You can, one way to counter invulnerability anchor is to let them funnel out. But what happens is they all start rushing out, and then you have trouble getting back in there. And a good Spencer is going to keep cycling his deck in a way where he's just going to keep getting those anchors out. So by getting that anchor immediately, it allows us to deal with the zombies much more quickly instead of just letting them walk out on their leisure. So again, that's why I did what we did there. Because this is a build that a lot of people struggle with. Or struggle to go against, I should say. This is a really good team, though. I wish Sam was doing a little bit more core stuff, but overall, this is a really good team.
Your breathing quickens. The virus stirs inside you.
I don't know where Sam's crawling to.
Taking aim.
Really long-lasting D field. It's because it's a double.
Could have gone worse.
Now, Valerie was about to use her skill there or a first aid spray, one of the two, but she saw I was picking them up, and I'm assuming she decided that it was better to save her ult rather than go ahead and try to pick up Sam because I was already on top of it, and there was no threats around us. And we didn't have to worry about the D field because the D field just happened, so may as well let me pick up Sam and then save your resources for later.
Tear out your insides, my son.
Disabling a camera.
How's it going, Haley? Thanks for giving us a sub earlier. There we go, baby. You can see how, again, this was super core. Like, super core makes a lot of teams lose, especially when you have all these IVs and all these creatures bumping around. Sam, you saw earlier, was out of resources, but again, every time you defeat a core, you get more resources, you get more umbrella credits. So Sam went ahead and bought some more stuff for his sledgehammer. Also, you could see at the end there that Becca was knifing the core, meaning that she was probably out of ammo. I accidentally moved forward. Oops, here we go. A lot of people really struggle against the IVs with the... Ooh, take that out from here. A lot of people really struggle with the IVs versus a thick core Spencer. And we got it, man. We just cleared it. We got 9 minutes on the clock. See, now Becca's gonna go load up because she was out. Smart for us to walk this way rather than the other way. You gotta buy a torch when you start seeing all those IVs show up. It's a clear sign he's using converter mod. Okay, I guess I don't get to come along. I don't have any grenades on me either. I don't need these blue herbs. Let's see if there's anything for me to pick up down in here, grenades or anything. Oh, green herb. I have 7 green herbs, I guess.
I would let you have this, did you? Just as I planned.
Do this, considering we're blinded. He might try to control a creature. I'm not sure. Oh god, I can't. I can hear ting ting ting, which means there's invincibility, so I'm gonna try to get rid of this. Yep, he did have an anchor on. Here we go, team. This team was phenomenal. Everybody just was on top of everything. This team rocked it, man.
Gotta admit, didn't think we'd make it. That was actually good work.
That was a good match.
I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Okay, Scooby-Doo. So again, this team was really, really good. They handled a lot of things really well. Everyone was shooting cameras. I got my list of notes here. Everyone was shooting cameras. Everybody was watching for each other and listening for bites. I'm glad that Sam did what he did. Sam made a bunch of good plays. I was like, why are you not using a torch? I'm really glad he didn't. He would have ruined his economy late game. And considering we had, for sure, defense system in area 1, because there was a bunch of extra pieces for the puzzle, that meant that cores were going to be thicker late game. And again, if you play Sam, don't be afraid to buy a freaking gun, man, especially when you're going against Spencer. There's going to be invulnerability anchors, and you never know where you're going to be on the map. If you're the one who's in position to take out the camera, well, I sure hope you're going to be able to take out the camera, and you didn't doof off and didn't buy a gun. Make sure you buy a weapon, or a firearm, I should say, if you're going up against Spencer, because you're probably going to run into those anchors. If you guys want to see this build that this Spencer did, it's not going to be the exact thing. I don't know what was in his deck, right? But I pretty much reverse engineered it to create a triple mod deck with super core and then get a bunch of IVs out and have a bunch of creatures out and have things buffed. I kind of reverse engineered that, and it's a very successful deck. I guarantee you this Mastermind wins a lot of his matches. But this team was just too good. Like, this is the type of thing where if you get 4 people that are really working together, they're going to beat just about any Mastermind. As they should, I feel. It was solo queue, so we weren't talking on comms, but we still had a really good cohesive team. Everybody was just there for each other, and I thought that was awesome. If you want to see what I think this build was, and you want to see this super core IV spam invulnerability anchor Spencer, I can make a video for that. We stream every night on twitch.tv/SwingPoynt. If you guys want to be a part of that, link is in the description. I'd love to see you over there. If you guys want to see more stuff like this where I kind of analyze a really good match, let me know in the comments down below. But with that, thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome, and then I'll see you in the next video that we do around here.